Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Dawnties. My name's Richele, and today I'm going to walk you through my 2026 reading journal. So in front of me I have an Archer and Olive bullet journal. I love all of the books, all the foiling. They also decorated the spine. There is something on the back, but I do love this material. Now my reading journals will last me for 2 years, so I am very excited to have this beautiful design for the next 2 years. And I know exactly how much room I need for how I like to track things. So I'm going to walk you through some of the spreads that I have, some of the challenges, and then what every month looks like. So we open it up. It is the title page. And then I immediately start with a quote. These are kind of things that I do in my regular bullet journal, and I really wanted to bring that to my reading journal just to make it more fun, more exciting. So this one says, I'm a book nerd. That means I live in a crazy fantasy world with unrealistic expectations. Thank you for understanding. And then 2026 reading journal. My first spread is going to be my TBR card. It says, must read more books. Any of these stickers that are in here are typically from my friend Robin over at Oh Hello Robin. She has an Etsy shop, so I will link her down below as well. We also have a coupon code that I also will leave down below if you ever want to buy anything from her. Highly recommend. I love her stickers so much. So this first spread is going to be books I want to prioritize. So I have a lot more books on my TBR, but I'm going to select a few that are going to be my priority ones. I'm going to fill them out, and once I read them, I'll color in the spine. And then for my series tracker, I have this funky stack of books, and I'm going to put the name of any of the series that I am continuing to read, and then be able to put in how many books are in that series and notate where I am in the series. So throughout the year, I know, if I come back to a series that I started 2 months ago, I know exactly where the next book is and where I'm at in that series. Then I have my book bingo. So this was a lot of fun. All of these stickers are from Oh Hello Robin, and I just have different stickers to represent different themes. So for example, if I read a cozy mystery, I will print up the cover of that book and put it in that spot to correspond with the prompt. And hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have completed a bingo board with all of these fun different prompts. Then I go into my buzzword challenges. So Kayla over at the channel Books and Lala, this is something that she does every year. Last year was the first time she did a cover challenge, where you have to have something on a cover, read a book, and then be able to print up the cover and stick it in for that month, for that theme. So she has a word prompt that has to be in the title, and then one that's on the cover. So they're completely different challenges, but they're so fun to do. I did them both last year and loved it, so I wanted to do it again. And these were templates that she made up so we could print them and put them in our journals, and they fit perfectly. Then I have my anticipated releases. So this is where every month I can write down books that I'm excited to read and just kind of make note of when they come out, just so I can keep them top of mind. I can go back and, we may have books that come out in April and May that I'm going to forget about by the time we get to April and May. So I can notate them down and be aware of those releases that are coming. Then I have my bookshelf and my book bracket. So this is where every month I'm going to print out the cover of my favorite book I read for that month, fill this out, so I'll have 12 on these bookshelves, and then I'll be able to do a bracket with them as well and figure out what my favorite book of the year is by the end of 2026. Then I have my DNF graveyard. This is where I have all these different tombstones, and for any book I DNF, I can just write out the title of the book so I know what books I did not finish. And then, of course, my reading stats. And the only thing I'm going to be tracking next year is how many books I read and how many pages did I read for every month. And then, obviously, I'll be able to tally up a grand total as well. So once we get through all of those, then we start going into the months. So I have, again, a fun quote, bookish quote or bookish themed image that I'm putting in here. So for January, it says so many books, so little time, and I love this kind of artwork, being able to color it in however I want. And then this is going to be my summary page for January. So I have January up at the top. I plan on printing the covers of my favorite books of the month and be able to kind of spread them out, before I choose one favorite one. So this is going to be a collection of my favorite reads for the month. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to notate how many total books did I read and how many pages did I read. So then I can easily mark it down here for the overall view. So every month is going to look identical. Then I go into how I like to track books. So I like to track books based on whether it's a new or a reread for me. Did I read it via Kindle, via the library, or is it one that I own? So I do check marks under each of these boxes to determine if it's new or reread and how did I read it. And then the title, how many pages that book has, the author, the genre, when did I start it, when did I end it, and how many stars did I give it. So this is a grid that I've been doing. I think this will be my 3rd year tracking it this way, which I love this method, so I'm going to stick to it. It works for me. Now, typically, 2 pages is plenty. So I do have the next page blank, but once I get towards the bottom here, and we still have January left, I'll be able to put a new grid in here to continue tracking the books. So from here on out, the only thing I have are my fun little quotes colored in, most of them colored in. So for February, it is Valentine's Day, so I stuck with the pinks and purples on this one. And it says, sorry, my weekend is all booked. I'll be setting up the summary page and then my 2 grid pages here, again, once we get closer. Then for March, I have a book is a dream you hold in your hands. And because of the quote, I wanted to keep it to like dreamy, fun colors that I think of, like, you know, cooling colors. So I wanted to theme it to that one. Then for April, I have this beautiful bookish building, and it says, I lived in books more than I lived anywhere else. Then for, what are we in? May, books fall open, you fall in. I thought this was really fun. June, between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be. In July, there's a million books I haven't read, but just you wait. This is a play on Hamilton where he says there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. So I loved that this was Hamilton adjacent, and I wanted to keep the colors red, gray, and blue. I didn't want to leave just white, but red, white, and blue essentially for the 4th of July. Then for August, so this is where I'm kind of stuck on coloring. I'll go ahead and show you the outlines of what I will be coloring in, but the rest of them are empty. I did color in the stars and the moon, but that's about it so far. So I'm stuck on August, but it says, not tonight, I'm reading. September, never judge a book by its movie. October, all this reality is really cutting into my reading time. In November, my birthday month, I think is really fun because it says, buy me books and tell me I'm pretty. That's all I want for my birthday. And then for December, home is where the books are. So as you can see that, I still have quite a bit. I don't even think this is half the journal. So after, 2 pages here, this would start 2027, and I have plenty of space to do the same thing for 2027. So I love that the way I do my journals, what I track doesn't take up too many pages, that I can use the same journal for 2 full years, which is fantastic. And again, I love that they did a library themed one. I love all the foiling, all the books. I think this is so fun. I think this came in a subscription box with Archer and Olive, and I just knew I had to have it. So leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have a reading journal, how you like to track, or are there any things that you specifically like to track, because I may want to change things up from time to time. I would love to know. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!